world down our call. So let me go over the program for the evening. It includes the following. So we're going to have the Every.Black introductory video. Then after that, I'll share the mission of Every.Black and the benefits of attending a mastermind meeting. And then after that, Ms. Deborah Wright will lead us through the reading of the S.B. Fuller book, followed by a short discussion. Then Mr. Jimmy Davies, our founder, Mr. Jimmy Davies himself, will share some announcements and offer tech tips. Then we will have an encouraging Bible verse. Ms. Jacqueline Bowens will introduce our speaker. And then after our speaker, we will have some networking time so that everybody will get a chance to know who all is on the call tonight. Then we will follow that out. We will close out the night with a prayer. And behind the scenes, it's usually Ms. Kim Davies Smith. But in her absence tonight as the engineer, we have Ms. Michelle Hill and Ms. Jacqueline Bowens. I think I'm correct on that. So now, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and share the Every.Black introductory video. So, Mr. Jimmy Davies, the floor is all yours.
Okay. And if someone let Christopher in. I grew up in Flint, Michigan during the 60s, and I remember as a child the civil rights movement. And I remember as family would huddle around this black and white TV and watch all of the things that were going on in Alabama and Mississippi. Some of my cousins, older cousins, were active in the movement, and every Sunday we would have a large Sunday dinner with the extended family. And they would come back on Sundays and they would tell us about all the things they'd seen and done. And as a child, about 8 or 9 years old, I always wanted to grow up and be a part of that. But by the time I became of age, it was all over. All of the marching was done. I always felt left out, that I didn't get a chance to participate in the civil rights movement. But little did I know that God had another plan for me as a computer instructor and database developer. We as a people had to overcome slavery and secondly, obtain our civil rights, being able to eat in any restaurant or stay in any hotel that we wanted. But the third piece is economic equality. I'm convinced that to achieve economic equality, it has to be through entrepreneurship. And we must use technology and a strategy of global networking. And that's why I created Every.Black, to use my 30 years of experience as a computer instructor and database developer to use technology to promote our members. We do it in a wide variety of ways. Of course, we list them on the website. We list our members in a directory that is downloadable from the website and our podcast, and distribute it at trade shows and other events. We constantly promote our members on social media and weekly email blast. Our social media followers and recipients of our email blast numbers in the tens of thousands. With over 30 podcast shows that air weekly, we reach people around the world, educating them about every aspect of becoming an entrepreneur. Where you can be interviewed on one of our podcasts or join Every.Black and have your own podcast. We have a complete package of services catered specifically for the entrepreneur. And last, we conduct weekly mastermind meetings where we read positive books and learn about entrepreneurship while networking with like-minded individuals. Just go to www.every.black to register for our weekly mastermind meetings. And that's what Every.Black is all about. Whether it's through mastermind meetings, providing the members with more exposure through social media and email blast, interviewing the members on podcast, and even providing them with their own podcast. We also make it very affordable for anyone to join, from a basic listing to a bronze, silver, or gold membership. So visit us at Every.Black. Sign up today. Just go to Every.Black, Every.Black. No .com, no .net. Just Every.Black. .black is the new .com.
Remember that, y'all. .black is the new .com. So now I'm going to go over the mission of Every.Black. Our mission is to assist, educate, and inspire people to create wealth through entrepreneurship by leveraging technology and a strategy of global networking. And how do we do that, you ask? Well, we do that through our membership. And if you have a membership, you are featured in the member directory. You're featured in Every.Black directory. And we also market our members through social media and email blasts. Another way we educate people about entrepreneurship is the many, many podcasts that can be found on the Every.Black podcast network. And the best way is right here every Monday night at the Every.Black mastermind meetings. So what are the benefits of attending a mastermind meeting, you ask? Well, to discover solutions through brainstorming, tap into the experience and skills of others, increase confidence in the decisions you make, be accountable for real progress in your business, attain an instant and valuable network, develop a sense of family because from new ideas, and last but certainly not least, boost your everyday positive mental attitude, which is something that is so very necessary on your journey of entrepreneurship. So our mission is twofold. We network with like-minded people, and we also read positive books. And this evening, we have Miss Deborah Wright, who is going to lead us through the S.B. Fuller book. So, Miss Deborah Wright, the floor is all yours.
It's Michelle Hill standing in for Deborah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Michelle. The floor is all yours.
Thank you so much. Last week, Deborah read about S.B. Fuller starting to, he signed on with Fuller Products Company. So we're going to continue from there. So we're on page 143, really the second full paragraph. In 1960, S.B. Fuller met Eunice Mosley, who joined the Brooklyn branch as an independent salesperson. She was a student at Talladega College in Talladega, Alabama, and was living with her aunt in Brooklyn while working to earn money for college expenses. Many young people across the country were able to finance themselves through college selling Fuller products during their summer and spring breaks. Joe and Eunice were married in the summer of 1961. Joe graduated from A&T in 1962, and he and Eunice moved to Brooklyn to work full-time for Rose Meta and Fuller Products. Joe became a crew manager and set his goal to become a sales manager or a distributor with Fuller Products. He encouraged Eunice to take a position in the Brooklyn office to gain experience she would need to work with him when he ventured out on his own. In 1967, the Dudleys moved to Greensboro, North Carolina, and became a Fuller distributor. By 1976, they had opened a beauty school and developed a chain of beauty supply stores throughout the Southeast. Joe, with the assistance of Eunice, had built a $1 million business before his 40th birthday. Joe was pleased with SB's offer to become president of Fuller Products Company, and in 1976, he and Eunice and their 3 children, Joe Jr., Ursula, and Jania, moved to Chicago. The plan was they would remain in Chicago and operate the 2 companies, Fuller Products and Dudley Products, from Fuller's main office. Joe and Eunice were concerned about Fuller's situation and wanted to see it regain the status it once had. They invested personal funds and encouraged family and friends to invest. The company was experiencing a cash flow problem, which made it difficult to supply distributors with the merchandise they needed. Fuller had turned all of his branches into distributorships, and a number of the distributors decided to have their own line of products manufactured. Many distributors across the country went into other businesses. They opened floral shops, grocery stores, women's dress shops, children's clothing stores, stores selling janitorial supplies, others selling school supplies, hardware items, furniture, and household accessories. One young man went into the business of selling replacement doors and windows. Another opened an Oldsmobile dealership in Washington, D.C. After affirmative action, a large number of Fuller people were hired by major corporations. Their Fuller training had prepared them to function in any environment without animosity or a fear of rejection. Harvey Russell, who became a vice president with PepsiCo, had been employed by Rose Morgan. She said that she had given him his first job when he arrived in New York City. His connection was with the salons, not the door-to-door sales division, but his position with Rose Morgan gave him an opportunity to observe the Fuller training program and to become acquainted with the Fuller philosophy. And I'm going to stop there because next time we start the next chapter in Chicago, 1980 to 1988. So are there any questions or comments?
Well, thank you, Michelle, for the reading. This is Jimmy Davies in Durham, North Carolina. Thanks for filling in for Deborah Wright today. She couldn't make it this evening. But I just thought it was interesting to see how Joe Dudley Sr. became involved with the company and even took on a leadership position with the company, even moving his family to Chicago. So any thoughts on that? Or
Yes, this is Jackie Bowens out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. I just like to say, first off, I know at that wedding with all those hair care products, everybody's hair was rocking. But on a serious note, I also like to say it just shows that Mr. Dudley hit the ground running. He didn't get in there trying to figure out what to do. He already had a mindset of what needed to be done, and he got the ball rolling. And that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. What we're going to do is going to continue on unless there's any other comments or questions or thoughts. Okay. What we do each week is we recognize a member of the week. And this picture might look familiar because we recognized her as member of the week last week. But something's happened since then that I just thought it was well to recognize her as member of the week again. And she's on the line tonight. This is Adasha Turner, and she works with the youth on some farming, and also we work with youth on podcasting. She was awarded a $100,000 grant this week for her work. And actually the first installment of a $300,000 award. So we just wanted to recognize her as member of the week. And she's already told us it's okay to share that information with you. So we're just really happy she's got that to work with the youth around the country with podcasting and farming. And I don't know what else they're going to be doing, but that's really great. And this is actually the podcast that they have set up. It's called Imagine Youth Podcasting Training. And so what we do is we work with them every Friday to make sure they know how to do it. But the young people are doing it. We just give them some guidance, and they've come up with some great ideas and thoughts to set up their podcast. One of the things too, like I said, we want to share some announcements. And this is one of our members, Eric Pinnell. He's got a new website up called eBuyMe, and I really suggest that you check it out. He's also got a referral program where they would pay up to $100 if you bring other people onto their site. What it is a marketplace for professional services. So if you're looking for like a web designer or programmer, or video or editing or audio editing, writing, proofreading, and more, you can find them on eBuyMe. And then the other thing is that the Black Business Expo is coming up November 9th through the 15th. And we highly suggest that you attend. Not only that, but they're currently looking for speakers, presenters right now. And there's a number at the bottom. I highly suggest you give that number a call if you're interested. I think the deadline for speakers is October 15th. And one other thing to note about the Black Business Expo, this year we will be having a mastermind meeting every night of the expo, an Every.Black mastermind meeting to close out the evening every night. It'll be at 8 p.m. same time. So we're really excited about that. This is a video that I'd like to share with you.
This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring.
On behalf of myself, Jimmy Davies, and the Every.Black family, we want to tell you to be sure to get out and vote. Make sure you're registered with your local voting precinct. Make sure that you have any documentation that is needed. If you have the opportunity to vote early, do so and avoid the long lines. But most importantly, vote. If you want to have a say-so in your future and the future of your kids and grandkids, vote. Again, this is on behalf of myself, Jimmy Davies, and the Every.Black family. Be sure to vote. And while you're at it, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a relative to be sure to vote as well.
We will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
We just really wanted to drive home the fact that we really need to get out and vote this year. In North Carolina, absentee voting has already started, and then October 15th, early voting has started in North Carolina. I don't know about the other states, but wherever you are located, vote.
And may I add one more thing, Jimmy?
Mm-hmm.
Just check if you're unsure of anything, any questions or whatever, check your local Board of Elections. They can help you with any information you need concerning voting. Thank you.
And the other thing is that we want to also encourage you to fill out your census if you haven't done so at this time. And that's been extended to October 31st. It was, it's supposed to be at the end of September, but it's been extended to October 31st. But don't wait, go ahead and fill out, complete your census. One other thing too to note is that we have a special relationship with Lafayette and Sandra Miller Jones, and Lafayette Jones actually authors a column in OTC Beauty magazine, and we're always looking for members to highlight in the beauty magazine. We would need a nice headshot and a bio of 400 words or less, and we have to designate some connection to the beauty industry. So if you're interested or think you may be interested, just contact me, Jimmy at Every.Black, and we'll see what we can do to see if you qualify for getting you in the OTC Beauty magazine. And that's just a photo of Sandra Miller Jones and Lafayette Jones with SMI Healthy Living Solutions and also SMSI Urban Call Marketing. And then Sandra Miller Jones works if you want to get information about Obamacare, if you've lost your job or about to lose your job, or even if that's not the case and you just need some help with insurance, then she's the one to call, is Sandra Miller Jones, and to get that number down would be great. What we also do is also want to let everyone know about Every.Black, and we encourage you to go to the website. It's not .com or .net. Go to the website and just click on the Search Now button, and you can automatically pull up all of the members of our website, of our association. What we do every Friday is we have a members only orientation, or actually don't have to be a member, it could be for anyone, to just find out about the benefits of being a member of Every.Black. And one of the benefits is being in the directory that we produce. The next one is coming out November 1st. And then we also do an email blast every week where we share information, anything that the members are doing, we share it in the email blast. And same thing through our social media. We share anything that our members are doing through our social media as well. Lately, we've also been providing training, technical training every Friday for the members, especially during this time of COVID. And then we recently, about a month ago, started an Every.Black study hall, where we get on actually the same line from 6 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, and we just work. First 5 minutes, we will let people talk, but after that, we get online and we just work. We take a break midway through, and we continue to just work on our businesses or read or whatever it is you want to do. And that's 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. And then we also have the podcast network, where our members are eligible to create a podcast that's hosted on the Every.Black podcast network. And then, of course, our mastermind meetings every Monday night. What I do also, we do each week, we provide tech tips. And I thought I would just rehash one that we've done before to give some information. I think everyone, or maybe I shouldn't assume that. When you type a letter on your computer, it doesn't store the letter. It stores a series of zeros and ones. Each 1 or 0 is called a bit. When you get 8 bits together, that's 1 byte of information. And 1 byte of information represents some letter, like an A or B. You change one of those zeros or ones, and it represents another character on your computer. Anyway, once you get okay. My co-host, I'm not sure who that was, what that was. But once you have 1,000 bytes, that's 1 kilobyte. Or 1,000 kilobytes is 1 megabyte. Or 1,000 megabytes, 1,024 megabytes is 1 gigabyte. 1,024 gigabytes is 1 terabyte. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you is that to give you an idea of how much storage space your documents take up. How much storage space will you need if you get a new computer, or maybe on your phone or your tablet? So a typical letter, such as in Microsoft Word, might take up 100 kilobytes approximately. But if you've got a photograph, it's going to take up maybe 3 times that much. And that's a 72 dots per inch. At 300 dots per inch, which means there's more dots making that photograph, it's going to take up even more space, typically about 2 megabytes. And of course, these are general numbers. And then audio is going to take up even more space, and then video takes up the most. So if you're going to be doing a lot of video work, you want to get a lot of space on your computer or tablet or whatever it is that you're working with. And so I just wanted to give you just general information about bits and bytes and how that works. And well, like I just said, in case of a computer, also email a document. You might notice too, sometimes if you email, you can't email a large document. It's too large to send through email. So you have to use a service like Google Drive or to share it in some other way. What we do each week also is we have a prayer, and Kim has provided a scripture. Kim's provided a scripture for this week.
Greetings, Every.Black family and guests on this call today. I'll be reading our scripture out of the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9 and 10. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially to those who belong to the family of believers. Amen.
Okay. And next, we're about to bring on our speaker. And Jackie, if you introduce him.
Keith Hunter is a native of Newark, New Jersey. He was a gifted football player in high school and was recruited by the University of Iowa, where he earned a BA in communications. Keith went on to the NFL, signing as a free agent for the Cleveland Browns. Football taught Keith many analogies which have guided and inspired him throughout his life on and off the field. After retiring from the NFL, he began to pursue many of his endeavors, one of which was playing golf. He totally fell in love with the sport. Keith immersed himself in golf, becoming a pro. However, that wasn't enough. Keith noticed many gaps in the golf market and made the decision to remedy the problems. He founded KGH Enterprises, LLC. Keith opened golf ranges, developed golf clinics, and created a line of golf clothing. He also developed a program which was underwritten by various corporations that enabled young girls to learn how to play the game of golf. Keith is dedicated to motivating others through public speaking, team building training, and workshops. He believes, and I quote, "To achieve your long-term goals, you need to first learn how to win the day," end of quote. Now, without further ado, I present to you Mr. Keith Hunter, founder and CEO of KG.
Mr. Hunter? Mr. Hunter, you have to unmute yourself.
Oh, here I go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I can start now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you very much. And first of all, I want to thank the committee for having me today. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who would love to be on this platform. So I wanted to thank you for that. And today I'm talking about how to win the day. And everything that I talk about today, I'm sure winning the day will be in that some way. I like to start off by giving an affirmation, and it goes like this. It's by Derek Furlow, Jr. It says that success is optional. Failure is optional. Winning is optional. Losing is optional. Pain is optional. Healing is optional. And having options is optional. And exploring your options is optional. Now, if it was up to me, I would add how to win the day is essential in that comment. So, again, let me just start off by telling you a little bit about myself. And I come from a family of 8 from Newark, New Jersey. I'm number 7, and I'm the first one that ever went to college and decided to leave home. And there was men in my family, but they were busy working and doing their thing. So I had to attach myself to some men like my 8th grade teacher, Gary Hayes, and my high school coach, Frank Fiducci. And those men have helped me learn how to set higher goals and have a vision and want bigger things. You know, I used to ask a lot of questions. And Gary Hayes, my 8th grade teacher, helped me really be the man that I am. And he answered a lot of questions for me. And my high school coach, Coach Fiducci, was everything to me. He taught me everything. And plus, he helped me get prepared for football. If there wasn't Frank Fiducci, obviously there won't be a Keith Hunter. And we had a lot of success together in high school. So I went to a powerhouse, high school powerhouse football. And we had a winning tradition. And a lot of players have gone on to big time colleges from my high school. So I was a young quarterback and had a lot of pressure on me. I was on the varsity team as a freshman. And I knew next year that I was going to be starting as a sophomore. So with the tradition and the powerhouse and all the expectation, when I used to walk through the street and I had a football, people used to say to me, you know, we better win, you know. So I felt the pressure all the time. So at high school, I was walking through the hallway one day, and one of the teachers said, "What school are you going to, Keith?" And I said, "The University of Iowa." And the teacher walked away, and I guess he assumed that I walked away. And the teacher went around the corner to talk to another teacher, and I heard the teacher say, "I guarantee you he'll be back, just like everybody else, saying woulda, coulda, shoulda." And that was my motivation. And I would say to you, you have to find your motivation, whatever it is that's going to help you move to the next level. Now, when I was on my way to the University of Iowa, listen, I wasn't a good student. I didn't dedicate myself like I should. So when I got to the University of Iowa, I was on probation. And so that just meant that they didn't have a clue if I was going to be there a week, a month, a year, or 4 years. And so, but I dedicated myself. One of the things that I did, one of the first things I did after I found my way around, I went to a professor. Excuse me, the communication, I was in communication. So I bumped into the dean, and it was an older white man. And he taught the top class in communication. And I asked him some questions and asked him, could he help me? And I didn't know that he was going to write the whole thing down for me, from where I should start to the last class that he taught. And I did exactly what he said, to the T. And so when I did become a senior and got to his class, obviously I got an A because I took all the other classes, and I was successful on that plan. Now, when I got to college, they used to ask us as a student athlete to do all of these things, right? We're a student athlete, you got to go to class, right? You got practice, you got study hall, you got to go to get your when you get injured, so you got to go see the trainers and stuff. And so you got all these things during the day. And when I first got there, I said, how in the world am I going to do all these things? Right. But you learn those over time, and you see the other guys doing it. And you learn that. You learn that structure, right? So they are really teaching you, and everything they do is how to win the day. My position coach, Bill Brazier, used to say, get your priorities straight. So to me, that is, how you win the day. But when I first went to Iowa, it was a losing tradition. They didn't have a winning season in 21 years. And 5 guys from my high school have gone to Iowa as well. And all of us were captains, and all of us graduated, and all of us had the opportunity to play in the NFL. And so I went to 4 bowl games in a row at Iowa. And so being around my college coach, Peyton Fry, who was a millionaire before he came to Iowa, and he taught us a lot, not only, I guess that's where I got the motivational speaking from, just having the opportunity to listen to someone like yourself. But he owned the logo that was on the side of the Iowa helmet. And so he let us help him design the logo, and was talking about the marketing. Now, you wouldn't think that a football coach is talking about business, but it wasn't all about football to him. And we learned a lot from him. And, I really enjoyed my time at Iowa. And we went to, like I said, 4 bowl games, and we helped turn that program around. The goal was for us, the 5 guys from my high school, was to go to Iowa, help them turn the tradition around and leave a legacy. And we did that. And I think that I tell my kids, no matter when I go back to Iowa and I can go to a basketball game, they will still give me a standing ovation. So, Iowa is like that, and there's no pro team around, and it's good to, be a part of something like that. And so, and then, I transferred, as a free agent to the Cleveland Browns. But I don't know if a lot of you remember, but there was another league, which was the USFL. And I got drafted in the 6th round to go to the USFL. And so I had an option, right? Another option. But as a kid, all you can think about is the NFL, right? Going to the NFL, being with the NFL. So I guess my money would have been guaranteed if I went to the Oakland Invaders in the USFL, but I decided to go to the Cleveland Browns as a free agent. Obviously no money, but that was my dream, and they was giving me an opportunity. And so I decided that I definitely wanted to do that. And so I did that. And one of the things I really learned at Cleveland was about culture, right? When I went to the Cleveland Browns, they didn't have a winning season either. And to see how the culture is being built, right? To be a part of something like that. And it starts from the top down, right? The organization, the players got to want to play for the organization, and not only the coaching staff, but the whole organization. So to see them to see the Cleveland Browns do the same thing almost as Iowa did, is go from the bottom to the top. And I think my 2nd year or 3rd year there, the Cleveland Browns, we went to the playoff and was 1 game from the Super Bowl. And obviously, what happened then. So, so that was a good experience, but learning culture, how to build a championship culture on the college level and the professional level is one of the hardest things that you will ever do. And so, and then when I got out of football, there's many things that I did, but first thing is I became an entrepreneur, right? And I wanted to do my own thing. And so I used to have a clothing company where I used to buy Hugo Boss suits and then travel around to all the NFL cities and check in a hotel and sell, and then have crackers and wine and grapes. And then I used to sell my suits to the NFL players. Most NFL players can't buy suits off the rack, but at that time, Hugo Boss had athletic suits, meaning it will be big at the top, but then they'll have a small pair of pants that fit the athlete's weights. So, those guys used to come and buy suits from me for $1,500, $2,500. It was really nice. And then the other business I used to have is a car detailing business, where I used to just do cars for this place that sold Mercedes, and I enjoyed doing that as well. And so, and then I got in the golf business, right? I went to the PGA show and I walked in the building, and I counted over the weekend maybe 5 Black people. And me and a buddy was together, and I said, next year I'm gonna be in this building. And I don't know what it's gonna be, but I'm gonna find something to be in this building business. And so I created KGH Enterprises. And my first year at the PGA show, the next year I was in the building and I was selling some golf gift cards and just a couple of sweaters and some knickknacks. And then I grew every year. And then I had a huge clothing line, a golf clothing line, KGH collection, men line, women line, plus sizes. And probably did that about 5 or 6 years. Really enjoyed doing that, selling my clothes. And for the young people out there, you know, everybody want to design their own clothes and do all that type of stuff, and really don't have the money for it. And the way to make that happen is private labeling. And so private labeling is you get your labels, you slap it inside of a big company's clothing line, and the next day you in business. And so I did that for 5 years, and then I created an umbrella, right? KGH Enterprises, I had an umbrella. The umbrella was Keith himself as a speaker. I used to do corporate clinics around the country. I was teaching golf, and I had my clothing line. So I enjoyed that for the 6 years. Well, KGH keeps going, but the clothing line I could pick up or put down whenever I want to. And that's the beauty of that, of doing private labeling instead of getting stuck with stuff and have to get clothing for different seasons and bringing your stuff, or your stuff getting stuck in customs. It would be real tough, you know, the next thing is, you know, the TED Talk. So the TED Talk I did was, I wrote into TED Talk. Locally it's called TEDx. And I saw that in New Jersey, and I emailed them and said I would like to do it next year. And the lady said, okay, after this TED Talk, we'll give you a call. So an hour later, she emailed me back and said, can you do it now? And I was joking with her, and I said, absolutely not. Right? So I was just joking with her, and I said, of course, I would love to do it. She says, well, we went online and saw that you did a couple of commercials and that you're comfortable in front of the camera, so we would like you to come on. I said, I would love to. Now, the big thing was everybody else had 2 months to prepare for the TED Talk, and I only had 2 weeks. So this is my advice to young people, is that this is why you got to be prepared. So I write all the time, right? So for me to do that TED Talk, and my talk was about how to win the day. Well, that speech was already prepared, right? So, but you can't just take your speech and do a TED Talk. You got to do it the TED Talk way. And so they put you with people who are going to help you on stage to give a powerful speech. And it was wonderful. But again, you have to be prepared, and cameras was in my face. It's filmed live. So the pressure is on. There's 150 people in the audience. And that's why you have to be prepared, you know, when you come across an opportunity like that. Okay, so we're really talking, when we talk about how to win the day, we're really talking about daily goals, right? So let me just give you an example. And you might have seen it. A few years ago, there was a commercial with Wells Fargo and Zelle. And it was, kids were in the park selling cookies, and a jogger was going by, and he felt that he needed to stop to say something to them. And he says, "Oh, I don't have my wallet." And the kid said, "Perfect. You could do it digitally." And he says, "Well, I don't have one of those payment apps." And the kid said, "Perfect. Don't you bank in the US?" And he said, "Yes, Wells Fargo." And the kid said, "Perfect. Then you have Zelle." And the man stood there, looked at him, and he said, "Perfect." And the girl said, "Perfect." So that commercial is a prime example of how to win the day, to don't wait on somebody else. And they taught the adult of what he didn't know and have. And so to me, that was very, very powerful. And at the end of the commercial, it says, "Another way of building every day better." So that commercial really touched me. So when it comes to winning the day, you have to start playing a little different, right? Meaning strategy wise. And sometimes your strategy might need a strategy, right? So one of the things that I do on a daily basis is I get up, right? You got to know yourself, right? So I get up at 5 a.m. and I learned a long time ago is that's when I do my best writing and I'm most creative. And so when you start learning your why, then you will understand the how. And so once I found out that about myself, I started writing all the time, right? I write all the time to be prepared. So when I do my next speech, which will be how to build a championship culture, or how to get out of the wilderness, or formation, recognition, and strategy situation. So most people are waiting for a perfect situation or a perfect circumstance or a perfect opportunity or a perfect time. So, and that's because a lot of people are trying to plan and control the situation, right? So you have to learn how to take advantage of the goals and the pivoted time, on pivoted moments. And so one of the things that I want to share with you is called PDCA. And this is what big businesses use as their model. And it's called Plan, Do, Check, Act. Plan, Do, Check, Act. Right? And then the other one is SWOT. And I would like y'all to, research that for yourself, and it would help you in business. And that is SWOT is strengths, weaknesses, options, and threats. Okay? But the one that's most powerful to me is the one that I've learned in defense, being a defensive coach, but really I learned it when I was a defensive back. And you heard me say it earlier, and that's formation, recognition, and strategy situation. Now, in football, that means that from watching film and knowing the tendencies of a team that we are about to play, what they like to run on certain down and distance, and what yardage they on. So then we can attach our strategy to that because of watching films and knowing their tendencies. We can attach the defense to that to try to shut that down. So formation recognition and strategy situation. So let's just say I'm the free safety and they come out in a certain formation that I'm not familiar with. Well, now I'll have two different defenses that I can attach to that. And one is obviously better than the other one. But if I call either one, I still can't hurt myself. So that's in football. But in life, right, I use the same thing, formation recognition and strategy situation. So that just means that whatever you got to deal with, whatever time of year that you want to deal with, that you have to deal with it, right? And then you attach your strategy to that of based on the time of the year or, you know, what your goal is, you attach the strategy to that to deal with the situation. Okay, so I would imagine it like this, if it was in military terms. The F would be the battle line and perfect timing, right? The R would be the flight zone and full attack speed. And the S in strategy would be the ambush and the strike zone. And the S in situation would be pursuit and outflanked. So I hope you really got something out of that, especially the formation recognition and strategy situation. And then those other PDCA will help you in the SWOT when you have the opportunity to research that. Okay. So when you're in kindergarten and you get your first gold star, or when you are a football player and you go to the Super Bowl, what's the difference? Nothing. The excitement, the goals, everything is the same. So let me give you this. The stats tells us that 0 to 19 is the first quarter of your life. 20 to 37 is the second quarter of your life. And 38 to 56 is the third quarter of your life. And 57 to 75 is the fourth quarter of your life. Now, I know some of you are saying, thank God there's overtime. But, you know, the most important thing is to finish well, right? And to be able to finish well, you have to first learn to win the day. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hunter. And I hope the silence didn't throw you off. We've learned that during these talks, we've been Zoom bombed a couple of times, and for security reasons, we have to control things. But right now, we've unmuted everyone if they have a question for you. And I did have a few things to ask to kind of kick it off. What do you personally do to overcome obstacles when they try to invade your day?
Well, I don't let them invade my day because before my feet even hit the floor, I have won the day, right? I know exactly what my agenda is. It is clearly defined. And so if something does happen, and it does, right? It can. I don't let that affect me. If I can deal with it at that time, I will. If not, I just move on and deal with it when I need to deal with it. But that's how I deal with that.
Okay. And another question I just had for you is, I hear that there's a book in the works. Would you like to give us a little information about that and the overall theme?
Yes. It's called Vulnerable Measures. And there's a little bit about me, but it's really for helping parents and athletes navigate through college football, basically, because the college football is a business, right? And you can be a single parent and all you know is these people are excited about your kid, but you don't know anything about football, or you may not know anything about the university. So it's important to know, for the parents to know what really goes on with their kid and all the things that happens to them. But for the kid, needs to understand what colleges, what type of attitude they're looking for, and how to act and how to learn how to interview and talk to coaches and the things that they're looking for, because it's not all about talent, how talented you are. Because me being a college football coach myself, I will take a person that has a great attitude and the work ethic over a natural athlete. Yes.
I think Carlos had his hand raised. Carlos, you have a question?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Hunter? Thank you for your presentation.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I have a question, and we're alumni of TEDx. I just did one.
Yes.
So I did TEDx Greensboro. So I want to know, what to expect from, like, prior to you doing your TEDx. I'm assuming you had the desire to get into the public speaking realm, and as you know, it can be lucrative if you get those paid gigs. What to expect? What should I expect? Because Ted just got ours, and we're waiting on them to upload them to YouTube now.
Right.
Give me a little heads up, man.
Well, first of all, being on TED Talk is like being on American Idol. A lot of people gonna come after you, man. I got a lot of people coming after me. But if you're gonna step out there, right, you got to step out there right. So it's no different than now, like being an actor. So you got to have a website, you got to have a media kit, you got to have all the things that you need to do to jump out there instead of trying to just jump out there. Okay. And be prepared and have your future speeches, at least know what you're going to talk about, your future speeches. And if you need an agent, you get one. I don't know if you necessarily need one, but a lot of people going to come after you and ask you to be a part of what they're doing. But you just need to talk to the right people. And the fact that you did the TED Talk, you're in the club now, man, and you got to use that to your advantage. But my advice is make sure you totally prepared.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to say congratulations to both of you for that.
Thank you.
That's great. Anyone else have?
Yes, this is Jackie Bowens from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Mr. Hunter, with your advice to athletes who are getting, whether it's professional or the college level, how do you talk to them, advise them to keep them from getting lured by gifts they may or may not know they're supposed to accept, and things of that nature?
Well, things are changing a little bit now. I mean, that really was the case before, but not necessarily now, because the NCAA is always changing the rules. Now the kids are getting paid. I mean, I was just at Rutgers University last spring helping them with recruiting, and the kids are getting, I don't know, let's say $700 if you are in town, and if you're out of town, you get $1,200. You know, whereas when I was in school, they didn't give us anything. And a couple of years ago, a few kids from Ohio State got in trouble for receiving money for their autographs and stuff like that. And now you can do that. Now they have the right to use their own name, and it's changing all the time. So yeah, if you don't stay up with the rules, it's unbelievable. But you know, I wrote about that in my book. And so, you know, it's more about understanding the attitude. And one of the hardest things when it comes to athletes that people really don't understand is from a very young age, they put you on a pedestal, right? And so from being in Pop Warner all the way up to the professional for myself, you know, one of the things that people don't do is help you get off that pedestal when it's over for you. Mm. And all the athlete know is that, you know, people used to clap for me, and now it disappears, but he don't understand why it disappeared, and nobody helps it off. But those younger athletes, you know, they need to be with the right person and make sure that they have the right attitude, because it could take you a long way, but it can also hurt you. If you look at another guy from Ohio State who was probably the best running back in the country, started as a freshman, just everybody let him do what he wanted to do, and he got in trouble and he lost everything he had. He had a guarantee, be a guaranteed millionaire, guaranteed. And because they didn't do anything when he was younger, and then when they didn't do anything to help him when he got to Ohio State, and then he just destroyed himself, and then ended up in prison and all those other type of things. And now he's a motivational speaker and very good at it. So, you know, it's important to be under the right wing, you know, the right wings of the right men.
Sure with that. We got somebody on the line here. But what we're going to do, Mr. Hunter, we're going to go into our break rooms now and let the people interact with one another that are on the call. Now, I'm going to be moving you from room to room just to give you a heads up, so you'll be able to interact with quite a few folks.
Yeah. Hold on to your hat, Mr. Hunter. I'm telling you, you're going to be moving fast.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So here we go. And when you get into there, we want everyone to interact with folks so you get to meet people from different parts of the country.
Yes. Well, hey, hi, Mr. Porter.
Hello, how you doing?
Hello. One, hi.
Hello, I'm Esther. How you doing?
Hi, Esther. I see a couple names and faces that I know.
We can't
Esther,
see Esther or
yeah, there you are. Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business and your entrepreneurship?
Okay, my name is Esther Hicks, and I own a part-time photography business. It's called Esther Hicks Photography, and I've been in business for quite some time now. And I mainly concentrate on events like weddings, but I do other, you know, genres like families, headshots, and all of those other things. Yeah.
What about folks who are entrepreneurs that need that package of headshots and just the professional images? Do you do that?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. Yeah. And where do you hail from? Because I think it's awesome to have a photography.
Okay. I stay in Franklinton, North Carolina, 30 minutes away from Raleigh, which I do work in Raleigh full time. Yeah.
Okay. Very nice to have you on the call tonight.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, that was Esther. We have Jean Philippo.
Yes,
Can you pronounce that for us?
Yes, it's Jean Philippo.
Hi,
And
Jean.
The business that I'm involved with is called MTI, where we educate people on Forex and cryptocurrency.
Wow. Okay. How do you market that?
I market as far as people that want to learn how to build their income. I've been doing Forex for almost 3 years and cryptocurrency for almost 5 years. And what I've learned is the dollar that's in your pocket is losing value because of inflation. So I educate people on how to invest their money, not just in the 401k and the Roth IRA, but also to build their portfolio value in Forex trading or cryptocurrency.
Okay, sounds very interesting.
It is, and I had actually gotten your information, Jean, from Mr. Davies and Miss Kim, but I hadn't contacted you yet because I hadn't seen you, and I always feel kind of, shy to contact people and they don't know who I am.
Right.
But I wanted to learn more about that. So, real quick, so you can reach.
Do you know how to do the chat room where you can?
I do, but I think it's gonna go. But I'm not sure if it's gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pulling my notes now. So give me 1 minute, and I can get your information. What information you want to provide first?
So I'm just gonna go ahead and give you my direct number, so you can just text me anything that however you want me to contact you. I'm just gonna. The quickest thing would be for me to just give you my number.
Okay.
Great.
And what is that?
Well, since you have the floor, could you go ahead and introduce yourself as well?
I will. So it's 512-409-5515. And my name is Dexy.
Hi, Dexy.
So hi, everyone. It's so nice to see everybody here. My name is Dexy, and I have a platform called The Dexcellent Life. You see Dexcellent Living here because that's something that I'm going to be coming out with as well. I do dance fitness along with yoga. I do motivational speaking, and just kind of, I'm a peace teacher. I call myself a peace teacher. I help people bring about inner awareness and peace and just move beyond excellent to a Dexcellent standard of living. So
I love it. Oh, Dexy, welcome.
Thank you.
And Jean, thank you for introducing yourself.
You're welcome.
This is so awesome. Okay. Next, Dr. Porter, can you tell us about yourself?
Yes, I just entered something in the chat as far as my contact. William Porter Life is my website. But anyway, I'm an author. I write inspirational books. I write about experiences people have that they at least consider divinely inspired. And of course, we all have experiences that we have that are unusual. And so I write about that. I've written actually 4 books. Actually, I have my 5th book coming out soon. Of course,
all right.
Lydia, I've talked to you about that. And I also have a podcast on Every.Black, storytelling time, where basically I recite the stories in my books. And so those are 2 of the things that I do. I also provide workshops for people who might be interested in becoming a professional writer. So I help you with that.
I tell you, we've got some multi-talented people on this call tonight. Thank you, Dr. Porter. I think, Chastity, are you on with us? Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I am Chastity Jones. I am a financial planner with Merrill Lynch. I assist individuals, families, and companies in reaching and achieving their financial goals.
So nice to see you again tonight. You're also an influencer, may I say. You put people together, and I want you to know how much I appreciate that because it's impacted my business. So thank you very much.
Awesome. I love to hear that. I love that. Yes.
I'll have to call you separately and tell you about it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Take care. Let's see. Bobby, are you on the call with us?
Okay. Yes, I am. I don't have my video on because I'm using another platform to live stream.
No problem.
So
good, strong voice.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I'm gonna say I like being here with these financial people because I'm also working on something, a positive movement called Action, which is an acronym is acquiring causes to intertwine our nations. And what I want to do is create
Ooh, I like that.
independent advertising and promotional network, and create it with also with a referral program called Out the Box Economics, which with these people right here in this room, I want to bring people on with economics expertise to promote them and interview them on my podcast so we can push it out to the universe.
Love it. Oh, this is wonderful. Olivia Robinson here. I was the timekeeper for our group. And of course, our speaker tonight hasn't made it to our room. But I'll just quickly say that I work with seniors. I'm probably a senior member in the room tonight. Second career for me, worked for IBM for many years, but always had a love and a passion for seniors and saw that there was a hole in the industry in terms of how they're being cared for. Not everyone wants to give their home and go into a big box facility. And so my ultimate goal is to open a facility. I won't reach all seniors, but I'll reach a few of them and help them to live out their lives very well with a lot of love and care. So I'm excited to be with the group tonight. Every.Black is a great organization, not only for networking, but also just so we can know how to strengthen our own economic base by doing business with one another. As you heard just from this small breakout group, we all come from many different facets, many different backgrounds. So we need to use the resources that are available to us. I invite each of you to take a closer look at Every.Black. And on Friday, of course, we have a meeting set up specifically to go over the benefits of becoming a part of this organization. I wish all of you great success and wish you well in your individual endeavors. And of course, collectively, I wish us all well in a strong economic base.
Hey,
I
very
was
well
hoping
said.
that our guest speaker might have joined us. Let me take a quick look. Haven't seen a change. So I won't dominate. Anybody else wants to come back on and tell us a little bit more? You have a couple more minutes to do so.
I think I was moved to this room from another room and I saw the speaker in that room. So I kind of don't know I don't know if anybody else saw him previously. So I don't know if he'll be joining this. I'll just throw that out there. The other thing I was going to say is for everybody to keep in mind that there will be a change in membership pricing come November 1st for Every.Black. So now will be an awesome time to take advantage of the 30-day membership. Free trial membership where you get to see all that it has to offer before that price increase.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and behind that, I also want to say that we have different levels. So in terms of what it costs to become a member, you may want to start at the base level, and then as you benefit from being a member, you can always change it. But this would be a great season and a great time to consider membership.
Yes, I just joined about a week ago.
Yay. All right. That's Bobby Buck. All right. I hope you're enjoying that membership. Dr. Porter, I'm going to call you back in because the speaker's still not here. Can you tell us a little bit about your upcoming event? Did they move him? Nope, he's there.
He's talking, but it's on mute, I believe.
Take yourself off mute. Let me text him and tell him. Can't hear you, Dr. Porter.
Okay, it don't say mute, but his volume is not working.
Lips moving and we're not hearing him. But I can tell you, because I'm one of his administrators, he started a book club that's going to kick off on November the 7th. All inspirational. We'll start, of course, with his series of books. He has 3 books, all based on people's experiences, and there'll be time on the call for testimonies, success stories, and even challenges that people have overcome. So there's plenty of information out on Every.Black. Look up William Porter and you'll find the details there. We're all very excited. I just got my books in my hand today and trying to read both books at one time to catch myself up. But we're really proud and very happy for him. We're doing great things at Every.Black.
I'm gonna connect him with a lady. I hope she got on today. I referred her to come on today. She's an author of 101 books right now.
Wow. Oh, yes. They need to know one another. Absolutely.
Yes. She's an educator, 21-year educator, and she does video. We work together here in LA.
Oh, I love it. Oh, this is what's so good about this technology is that you can be anywhere and still be hooked up. So that's exciting. Let's see.
Yep, I love dealing with it. You know, it
I
could be a
guess one of
headache.
the other rooms must be dominating the speaker because I love when he drops in or when she drops in. We had some good tips put out tonight.
I'm wondering
Hello.
if they accidentally snatched
Hello.
Cassidy out and let the speaker in the room.
I'm hearing hello.
Okay, Mr.
Hello.
Porter, we
This
can
is
hear.
Keith Hunter. How y'all doing?
Well, hi. We were hoping you would drop in. We're well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much for just opening your brains for us and pouring out some information. I'll let this group one have questions for you, or you want to say anything to Mr. Hunter. We want to say thank you.
Well, thank you. Come on with the questions.
Well, it was an absolutely wonderful talk that you gave us, Mr. Hunter. Hi, I'm Dexie. I'm calling in from Austin, Texas here. And I loved your affirmation at the beginning, and it made me write down one of my own based on the topic that you had. And so my affirmation was how to win the day with your options. So,
and how you said it was essential. That's what I grabbed hold.
Yes.
Winning the day is my essential.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So you've had so many different streams of income. Have you loved each one, or was there one that sticks out to you more than others? Are you passionate about this new book? What is it that really has you excited now?
Well, now, I've been speaking a long time, right? And so I used to speak, but not at the level that I am now. And I told you, my friends used to tell me I should be on the speaking circuit, but I would not step out there because my head wasn't in the right place. But now my head is in the right place. And that's why I went on. I wrote the book in a month.
Wow.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
I wrote the book in a month, but remember I told you I did a lot of writing at 5 a.m. So I have a lot of my material, and all I had to do was add on to it. That's it.
Right.
So speaking in my book now is my next thing.
That's your baby.
My biggest thing.
Yeah.
I've made all my money in golf.
All right.
But now, I mean, what's nice about speaking also, I just added the talk to it, to my corporate clinics. So it's almost like a golf clinic TED talk.
Yes, I love that. How awesome. Especially for young people who are coming up that maybe didn't venture into golfing. How nice to just see someone that looks like them. So kudos. We're excited about you, knowing you, and I'll be following up. And of course, being able to go back and hear your TED Talk will be a wonderful thing. I have a nephew in another state that loves golfing, so I want him to know who you are.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Just step out.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, now what I took away, don't be afraid, but be prepared. That was big for me. Yes, gotta really be prepared. When that woman called you back, I'm sure you were like, all right, I'm ready. Makes a
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else with a question for Mr. Hunter?
Well, I just want to communicate with him. My name is Bobby Buck, and I'm okay. We got much time. But I'm from Arkansas, but I came all the way to LA 13 years ago. I came out here drunk off a Greyhound, and I became 13 years sober. So I understand about just taking a chance and going with it. And through my faith and everything just worked out perfectly.
Well, cool, Bobby. Let me tell you this, right? And y'all can write this down if you like. Another affirmation. So it's today is always here. Yesterday is gone, and tomorrow never comes. Time offers opportunity, but demands a sense of urgency. Now is the time. This is the place, and you are the one.
Love it. I hope that's in your book. Oh, that was powerful.
Thank you.
Looks like
that's for you, Bobby.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. They snatched him away.
They're going to